Hello and welcome to this episode of the Fabled Lands. Well, your comments came in thick and fast and they were as varied as they could possibly be. We also had a lot of fun last night, as a matter of fact, with the live stream that eventually got going. And yes, it certainly seemed to be interesting, to say the least. Anyway, moving swiftly along with Carrick's story, we now return with decisions that have been made. The general voting was to go to Shadar Tor, to try our luck there, in terms of trying to overcome the sea creatures that swim down below, or whatever the case might be. And to do that, we've got to go to Trefoil. But there were some suggestions that I got on Twitter, I think it was, or on Facebook, that suggested that perhaps we take our 450 gold and see if we can't improve our equipment. So to do that, if you recall, we are at Yellowport. So there is the Yellowport Market, which is page 30. And at the Yellowport Market, the market is a large and busy place. At the corners of Brimstone Plaza, gigantic braziers burn sweet-smelling incense in an attempt to overpower the rotten egg smell that permeates the whole city. There are many stalls and goods to choose from. You may buy any of the items listed as long as you have the money and the space to carry it. You may also sell any items you own that are listed below for the price stated. And do not forget to cross them off of your adventure sheet. So that rat poison, I don't think we're going to need it again. I think we can sell it. It's 50 gold. Well, it's 50 gold, isn't it? And that's what we want. So rat poison. Watch, we're going to fight rats next. You watch. So that brings us up to 500 here. Right, 500. Now, we could buy a combat weapon of +1. That's for 250 shards. I think that would be worth it because our combat's only 3. That'll bring it up to 4, which is a little bit better. Our alternatives are a holy symbol, which improves our sanctity, or a no, we can't afford a compass. Sanctity +1. I'd rather have combat +1, to be honest with you. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to sell our regular sword, which selling our regular sword gets us 40. And then we're going to buy a magical one for 210. 210 cash. So that leaves us with 290, which we could still get that holy symbol. Actually, we've got enough to buy. Oh, we've already got a mandolin, so that's fine. And the values don't stack. So a +3 with a +1 doesn't become a +4. It's still a +3. We can't buy better armor here. Do we need rope? Do we need climbing gear? Or do we need that sanctity +1? I think climbing gear might be appropriate. 100. Climbing gear. I feel it in my bones. And that's kind of got ropes and, you know, it's a full package, I think. I don't know. Anyway, now it also says here, a trader is offering a treasure map for sale at 200 shards. Treasure map for 200 shards. I wonder where it leads to. Well, treasure, obviously. For 200 shards. When we've got money to burn. Shall we agree to that? All right, I'm also going to go to the tavern. I'm not going to read the entries because we know what it is. I'm just going to spend 3 coins to get the health up to 9. So we can do that. All right. Now, on to Shadar Tor. Oh boy. I always get nervous when we're about to go on one of these adventures. I'm not a fighter. All right. Page 10, and we leave the city. So we're going to strike out northwest of Trefoil. 233. We've done this before. We know this one. 412. You are on the cobbled road between Yellowport and Trefoil. You meet a few merchants and pilgrims, but all in all, it is an uneventful journey. We're going to go to Trefoil, 250. The city of Trefoil is a terrifying vision of apocalyptic destruction. It had once been a thriving crossroads town, but now it is a burnt-out hulk. It was almost razed to the ground when it declared for the king and tried to hold out against the army of Grieve Marlock during the recent civil war. It was sacked by the general's mercenaries. General Marlock is now trying to rebuild it. Craftsmen are hard at work everywhere. Take the road to Shadar Tor, 602. You are travelling the road between Shadar Tor and Trefoil. You pass a convoy of masons, carpenters and builders heading for Trefoil with an escort of Sakaran soldiers. You come to the top of a windswept cliff. An ancient pillar of jumbled rock, pitted and weather-beaten, stands at the cliff's edge like a broken finger pointing at the sky. Seagulls sing their song of desolation in the air. Judging by the runes marked into the rock, the Tor dates back to the time of the Shadar, a race that ruled Harkuna so long ago that they are lost in myth and legend. Examine the runes, go down to the beach, take the road to Trefoil, or take the road to Marlock City. Well, we are here to try and recover this net of Elvir and Velmir that was stolen, so I suppose we should study the runes. Let's study the runes, you never know. Can't hurt. Just reading. Ooh. Make a magic roll at difficulty 11. 6. 3 is 9. Plus 4 is 13. So we pass. 205. The runes are written in Old Shadar, an ancient language from thousands of years ago. You realize that the runes form a spell that will give you the power to breathe underwater for a few hours. Well, if that's where the net is, use the spell and swim out to sea. I think so. 493. 493. We can breathe underwater. We might be able to find a shipwreck or something. Gills grow out of your cheeks as soon as you have read the runes aloud. You make your way down a track to the beach and swim out to sea. The gills work perfectly, and you find yourself swimming in the eerie silence of a submarine world. Suddenly a hideous form looms out of the murk. It is rather like a giant squid, but it carries a spear in one of its many tentacles and wears rudimentary armor. Great black eyes shine with an impeccable alien intelligence. Do we have the code word anchor? Yes, we do. Turn to 116. Put a tick in the box. you realize the creature is one of the legendary repulsive ones. It is swimming past you, intent on its own business, so you follow it, in the hope it will lead you to the sunken city of Ziusudra. That's where we had to go. Ziusudra. 547. Your instinct was correct. The seabed suddenly drops away to reveal the ruins of a sunken city, the city of Ziusudra. Crumbling towers climb out of the hazy green depths, and shoals of flashing silverfish dart through the abandoned windows and doors of coral-encrusted buildings. The creature you are following arrows down towards a large dome-like structure, covered in waving tendrils of seaweed. It disappears through a hole in the roof of the dome. Carefully, you swim down to the hole and look through, into the palace of the repulsive ones. I don't think we can fight an entire army of repulsive ones. The inside of the dome is lit with an airy yellowish glow that comes from the sea moss that carpets the ceiling. At the far end, a grotto in the wall contains an idol made from seashells and coral, presumably of Arnes, the god of the repulsive ones. At its feet lies the golden net of Elvir and Velmir, the object of your quest. Between you and it swim several of the giant squid creatures, carrying out various undersea chores. Undersea chores. She sells seashells on the seashore, carrying out various undersea chores. Oh. Swim back to Shadowtor. No. Fight your way to the golden net. Trust to your magical prowess. Rack your memory for a solution. That can't hurt. 487. Rack your memory for a solution. That's not going to help us. Now, at the end, the final curtain, make a scouting roll at difficulty 11. So I basically have to roll 10 on this dice. 4. Now I need a 6, or it's all over. And a 4. I tell you, 189. There is nothing in your limited knowledge of undersea wildlife to help you. Well, at least we didn't die. Now, we can either fight our way to the magic net, to the golden net, or we could try magic. Well, we're going to try magic then. 592, because, magic hasn't yet let us down, he said. Make a magic roll at difficulty 11. So we need to get an 8. 3. 6, 9. Yay! We succeed. 6, 3, 8. You know from ancient texts of arcane lore that the repulsive ones cannot stand bright light. Using all of your magical power, you cause the glowing moss to emit a dazzling flash of yellow light. Blinded for a few seconds, the repulsive ones mill about helplessly, and you dart in and seize the golden net. You swim from Shadar Tor as fast as you can. From here, you can take the road to Trefoil, or you can take the road to Marlock City. We are now a great adventurer. Think of it, our tales. We now have the legend of the grand battle between us and the Rat King. And now, the outfoxing of the repulsive ones underwater, where my cheeks grew gills. We're going to make a fortune playing that at the nightclubs. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Good call to whoever suggested that we go to Shadar Tor. You are travelling the road between Shadar Tor and Trefoil. You pass a convoy of masons, carpenters and builders, all heading in that direction with an escort of Sakaran warriors. Well, we're going to Shadar Tor, 250. The city of Trefoil is a terrifying vision of apocalyptic destruction. We have seen this already. We're going to Yellowport, 233. There's a tick in the box. Yes. 412. 412. You are on the cobbled road between Yellowport and Trefoil. You meet a few merchants and pilgrims, but all in all, it is an uneventful journey. Head for Yellowport, page 10. Put in another 10. If you have just arrived in Yellowport, put a tick in the first empty box. The boxes are a record of the number of times you have visited the city. If this is your fourth visit, turn to 273. You find the city is in turmoil. A rebel group, loyal to the old king, led an uprising against the army. Vicious fighting ensued, and the streets ran with blood before the rebellion was brutally put down. Unfortunately, much damage was done during the battle. If you own a townhouse in Yellowport, it has been looted, and any possessions you may have cached there have been taken. Make a note of this paragraph number, 273, and turn to 300, cross off anything on you have stored there, and return here to read on. If you have the code word artifact and the Book of the Seven Sages, turn to 40. If not, turn back to 10 and choose from the options listed there. So there was a rebellion while we were out in Shadar Tor. You never can trust rebels. Well, I'm glad it was put down to anyone who happens to work for the Sakaran brothers. Glad it was put down. All right, so to the Temple of Elvir and Elmir, 220. The Temple of Elvir and Velmir is built like an upside-down galleon. Elvir and Velmir are brother and sister, king and queen of the land beneath the waves, masters of the sea. Their servants and soldiers are the souls of the drowned, and when seas are rough and storm-tossed, sailors say that Elvir and Velmir are arguing again. If you have the code word anchor, turn to 534. We do have the code word anchor, 531. 531. If you have the golden net, turn to 4. The priests of Elvir and Velmir are overjoyed that you have returned the golden net. Yeah, yes, well, we are the greatest hero that Yellowport has ever seen this week. The High Priest rewards you with 100 shards. That's it. And a rune-engraved trident. Note the weapon, a weapon of +1. We spent so much money buying a weapon of +1. On your adventure sheet and turn to 220. Oh, well, there we go. Do we have the blessing? We didn't really need the blessing because it's at sea, isn't it? We should have got the blessing, perhaps. Let's get the blessing. 448. If you are an initiate, it costs only 5 shards to propitiate. I have never heard that word. To propitiate the twin gods of the sea. A non-initiate must pay 20. Safety from storms in the blessings. All right. Safety from storms. There we go. 20 gold. I'm going to use our... Right. Now, there were lots of calls to go back to the Sea Dragon and to go fishing with the Sea Dragon. So I think that is exactly what we need to do. So we are going to head north. We're going to leave Yellowport now, I think. We still don't have enough for a resurrection deal. That's 500 or 800 gold, if you remember. That's a lot of money, which sadly we just don't have. Yes, we could sell that sword, I hear you say. Oh, all right, let's do it. Page 30 is where we sell the sword. And the sword is going to get us 200. So that little endeavor got us 300 gold, 300 shards. Rat King's got us more, but then again, the Rat King's was much more difficult. So that gets us 200 shards. That puts us, we're just on 540 odd. That mandolin would give us another 270. That gets us nearly to 800. The chain armor is only 180, so it's not worth selling the chain armor. The fairy mead we still don't know about, but maybe that will come in handy. The lantern, are we going to go exploring dark places again? That's another 90. Oh, I don't know. We can still buy that treasure map. You know that I want to buy that treasure map, don't you? I'm going to buy the treasure map. It's treasure, for heaven's sakes. Treasure's amazing. We're going to dig it up, and we'll get it, and we'll be rich as kings. Yes. Treasure map. And it's got a page number here. 200, I think. Treasure map. You have acquired an old map of the Forest of the Forsaken in Golnir, showing a safe path that leads to the Tower of Despair. It seems to conflict with the location of the tower on your own map. Which is correct? You can turn to 200, page 200, in the war-torn kingdom whenever you wish, providing you own the map, but remember, always note the paragraph you were at before turning here. Return to the paragraph you came from. If you have only just bought the map, you were in Yellowport Market, so return to 30. Now the map, I'm hoping there's a picture I can bring up to show you. Much treasure to be had. But where the Watcher, it says. Now, we've got to go to the Forest of the Forsaken. That was the very first quest that we got, the Forest of the Forsaken, if you recall, which was to hunt a werebear. So that does make me excited. I see there's the Hamlet of Bald Ones, Nightly Challenge, Tomb, Clearing, Elf Glade, excuse me, Gibbet, Tower of Despair, Hermit's Cottage, Hamlet of Lazars. The Forest of the Forsaken sounds truly amazing. The War-Torn Kingdom. I think Cities of Gold. So I'm going to go City, Gold, and Glory. CGG 200. Just remind me that's what it means. Oh, no, 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 no. Sorry, my apologies. It is definitely here so that I can check the map. I can come back here. So it's the war-torn kingdom. 200. I can come and check this little map here. That's fantastic. Well, we've got a map. We've got a map to a place that we had to go to. So I call that forward thinking. That's what I call that. All right, now we leave the market. We're done. We're done. We've spent money. We're done. We're done. We're done. Follow the stinking river north. 82. Da, 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 da. I feel like we are going to have a marvelous adventure. 2. You are following the course of the stinking river, and it certainly does stink, laden with sulfur, as it is. Roll a die. I rolled a 2, and you are stung by a large golden insect. Ow! You are poisoned. Combat -1 until you find a cure. Oh. Hang on. But I have immune, poison, and disease. So there goes my blessing. And we are not going to lose that horrid golden insect. Now, where did we get that blessing from? I don't remember. Anyway, it came in handy. Forward thinking. So blessings they can't take away from you. So maybe we invest in blessings and we just get blessings everywhere. All right, 310. There is a tick box. Turn to 614. The stinking river has cut its way through the high ground here. On the edge of the chasm that overlooks the river below lies the village of High Theris. Just outside of town, 3 bodies hang on a gallows, slowly rotting. Inside, the villagers are having a fete. They welcome you. You can get some rest and recuperation here. Restore up to 5 lost stamina points. Wow. Well, there you go. We came across this last time, I remember. Now, follow the river north. Northwards, we are going fishing. That was one of the big requests, 576. You are up the stinking river, near its source, the lake of the sea dragon. From here, the yellow waters rush down to the sea. The smell of the bubbling, sulfur-laden water is abominable. Go to the lake of the sea dragon. Yes, that's what we want to do. 135. The shores of the lake of the sea dragon are swept by ochre waves, and the air smells foul. A sickly pale green seaweed is the only vegetation that can survive in the sulphurous waters of the lake. A small fishing village, Cadmium, has grown up on the shores of the lake. Visit the local market, 292. I think we had to buy a silver ingot, if I remember. The local market is very small. So small, in fact, it only has 2 commodities that are available for trade. A smolder fish we can sell for 55 or buy for 60. A silver nugget we can buy for 160 or sell for 150. I suppose we should buy that silver nugget for 160 gold. You cheater. There we go. Silver nuggets. I'm not doing this correctly, sorry. Right. So, back to 135. Now, we can hire a boat and go fishing, which I think is an excellent idea. That's what we wanted to do a long time ago, 203. You can hire a fishing boat for 15 shards a day. It comes with a fishing net. Well, haha! We're going to go and become fishermen. 15 shards. Oh, God. Our money situation is never stable, is it? We just spend and spend and spend. Fishing boat. 267. It's a lovely day for fishing anyway. You row out onto the lake, spread the net, and wait to see what happens. After an hour or so, a great bubbling and frothing of the waves disturbs your solitude. A massive scaly head, the size of your boat, erupts out of the ochre-coloured water on the end of a long, sinuous neck. Great luminous eyes look down at you. The creature is covered in brown scales, with a bright red crest running from the head down to its thick, ropey neck. I am Vash, the sea dragon, it says in a rich voice, tinged with evil greed. To fish in my lake you have to pay tribute, to wit, 1 silver nugget. Pay now or face my wrath. That's a dragon at 550. Hand over the silver nugget or refuse to pay. No. Here we go. 505. Here we go. Oh boy. Well, there's 160 gold gone down the dragon. Excellent, says the dragon, catching the nugget in one of its clawed forelimbs. With that, it rolls over and dives down into the lake. At the last second, its tail whips up out of the water, inches from your face. You could reach out and grab it if you wanted to. What's it going to do with all those silver nuggets? Take them down into its cave and just lie there? At 150 a pop, if we got 10 of those, we'd be made. We'd be set for life. Catch the tail. 362. We can't not. We can't not. 36. What are we going to do? Catch fish? That's hardly a tale worth telling. Psh. The sea dragon dives deep to the bottom of the lake. You are pulled along at a terrific rate through the murky waters. You think your lungs are about to burst, when at last the creature surges upwards, breaking the surface. You find yourself in a cave inside a small rocky island, somewhere on the surface of the lake. A hole in the roof lets in a shaft of bright sunlight that reflects off the water, casting dappled yellow light all over the walls. Part of the cave is dry ground, heaped with the dragon's treasure hoard, sparkling coins, swords, armor, and the like. You notice a rocky ledge lined with a number of bottles, full of yellow dust. The dragon pulls itself on top of its hoard. You have a few seconds to try and hide. Make a thievery roll at difficulty of 10. We need 6 in total, 7 in total. 3. 6. 16. If there is a tick in the box, turn to that. If not, put a tick there now and read on. 16. Great. If you have the code word avenge, nope. Otherwise, read on. You remain as quiet as a mouse behind a pile of coins. After a long wait, the sea dragon slithers into the water and swims out on some errand. You have some time to loot the hoard. You may choose up to 3 of the following treasures. Ha! An enchanted sword +3, plate armor +5, an ebony wand magic +2, 500 shards, a magic mandolin, charisma +2, a golden compass, scouting +2, magic lockpicks, thievery +2, or a silver holy symbol, sanctity +2. I don't know what to pick. There's so much stuff. Oh, there's so much stuff. What do we pick? What do we choose? What do we do? Okay, quickly, the dragon's coming back. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're allowed to carry 12 items. 9. So we can load up on all of these things. Right, so plate armor. +5. That puts this up to 9. That's good. Enchanted sword. +3. That's very good. And then the last one. What should the last one be? Do we bring up our scouting? What about our sanctity? Or do we push our magic? Or our thievery? Magic's been pretty good to us. Magic has been pretty good to us, so I think magic wand +2. After you've taken the third treasure, you hear the sea dragon returning. Quickly, you climb up through the hole in the roof onto an island in the middle of the lake. From there, you manage to get a lift on a passing boat and make it safely to Cadmium Village. Oh! Turn to 135. We're done. We are done. We have gone from the lowest of the low. Now we are at maximum. We're going to have to sell stuff. We can't sell it here. We cannot sell it here. Karanbaru. I think that's where we have to go. So, from here, we want to go north. Northeast into the farmlands. Northeast. No, that takes us that direction. We want to go northwest, as a matter of fact. So we can't go northwest. We're going to go west. 387. Oh, we come across our favourite inn, which we've never stopped at with any money before. You are on the road between Karanbaru and Trefoil. You come to the Weary Pilgrim Tavern, a way station between the cities. The tavern costs you a shard a day, and each day that you spend here you can recover 1 stamina point if injured. If you want, you can spend 3 shards by buying drinks all round, so you can glean rumours. It'll be worth... Hey, we're not that flush. We've got equipment up the yazoo. But, yes. So the rumours. Page 6. 6. Almost the last entry. A trader from the far north tells a story about a great wizard, Targders the Magnificent, who was tricked by a shaman of the Hoard of 1,000 Winds on the Great Steppes. He imprisoned Targders inside a great ruby and proceeded to loot Targders' tower. But in his stupidity, he opened the great wizard's casket of imponderables and unleashed a terrible storm that swept across the steppes scattering many of the tribes far and wide. The shaman was killed, of course, but as far as anyone knows, Targdaz is still trapped in the ruby, waiting patiently for release. Perhaps for another 100 years. Who knows? One thing's for certain, it won't be me trying to get him out. Well, Targdaz the Magnificent is trapped inside a ruby. We have been threatening to go north. That much is true. But not just yet, I don't think. Right, so we wanted to go to Karambaru, so that's north 347. The road is nearly blocked by wagons and supply convoys. A troop of soldiers forces its way through the throng. The men bang heads indiscriminately to clear people out of the way. Roll a die. 5, mistaken for a beggar, and you receive 10 shards. I'm not going to say no. North into Karambaru. Now, Karambaru is a spectacular town. I'm going to bring up the map. Please remind me to do so. Karambaru is a medium-sized town that acts as a way station between the citadel to the north and the rich towns of the south. It is a garrison town. Many supplies, arms and soldiers move through Karambaru on the north-south trail. Shops, traders, temples and the like have sprung up here to serve the needs of the military. There is also a sizable mining community for the mines of Saqqara, which lie in the Bronze Hills just outside town, and a slave market where poor unfortunates sold into slavery are bought for work in the mines. You can buy a townhouse here if you had any money, but you don't, so you're going to visit the marketplace straight away. Yes, we are. 215. Now. Selling the sword of +1. Check. Delete. The sword of +1 gets us 200 shards. I'm just writing it down here because we're selling a lot of stuff. The chainmail +3 we are selling. Check. Chainmail +3 gets us 180 shards. Are we selling anything else? No. Mandolin, lockpicks, bag of pearls, rat poison, no. All right, so that's where we are. I don't think we need... We've got now, that gives us 380 gold, or 402 gold in total. 402, so we've got 450 gold. So, yeah. Nothing of particular value can be purchased here. Visit the Merchants Guild, always useful. The Merchants Guild is comparatively small here. Most of its work involves financial services for the army. Here you can bank your money for safekeeping, but there are no facilities for investment. You can deposit or withdraw money. Note that you are in Karambaru and turn to 605, or return to the town centre on page 400. But we're going to go back to town centre. This investing thing, it's for the smart people. I'm a song teller and a wizard. I'm not smart. Well, I suppose I am actually with those values. Anyway. Visit the slave market, 473. Oh, should we buy a slave? Carry my belongings, slave. Oh. Probably do that. The slave market is a large canvas-covered square. The poor, unfortunate slaves, people from all over Harkuna, from the Feathered Lands, Golnir, criminals of Saqqara, nomads from the steppes, are paraded in chains on a dais. Merchants and nobles bid for the slaves they want. If there is a tick in the above box, turn to 610 immediately. If not, read on. An unusual sale has come up. a little furry bat-winged humanoid. It is one of the mannequin people from Sky Mountain in the north, and it's going for 50 shards. You want to buy it? Turn to 459, or not, we head back to town. 50! I'll give you 50! I'm not going to use it as a slave. What? 459, not 495. 459. Cross off 50 shards. The little mannequin creature is handed over to you on a leash. Its wings have been tied together to stop it flying away.
Who are you then?
It pipes in a squeaky voice. Just then, a palanquin carried by 4 bearers arrives. A man leans out and hails you. "You there! I have come to buy that flying monkey, but I see I am too late. Nevertheless, I will give you 75 shards for it."
Don't sell me to the popinjay! Free me instead!
Chitters the mannequin. Oh, bother. Oh, bother. Do we free it or do we sell it? Find out next week when we return with more adventures of the Fabled Lands. Until then, in the comments below, do we free it or do we sell it? Costs us 50. We'll make 25 if we sell it. But I don't know. This little winged creature. You tell me. Do we free the mannequin or do we sell it? Anyway, until next time. Thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving your comments below. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. His adventures, poor old Carrick, he seems to be in an upwards swing at the moment. He hasn't failed too many things, and with those new magical items, I don't think he's going to be failing anything in the near future, at least touch wood. Anyway, until next time, thanks for watching, and safe travels in the Fabled Lands.